Yo, what's up YouTube family? Welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about the 5 top reasons that beginner traders are not consistent. So if you guys are new to the channel, you don't know me, my name is Justin. I've been trading for about 3 years now. I'm also the founder of SwingFX, which is a educational company where I basically show traders my system, how I trade, and probably more importantly, how to stop trading blind, meaning how to incorporate fundamental analysis. And so you actually know what you're trading, right? You know the fundamentals behind it, you know why it's going to move, you know some risks that you may not have been aware of, and yeah, so check it out. Links down below. So guys, let's hop over to the computer. Let's not waste any time and talk about why beginner traders seem to fail at a pretty fast rate compared to traders who have been doing this a longer time. So let's take a look.
All right, so let's jump right into it. Let me just get a little title here. So, 5 reasons why beginners fail. I guess I spelled beginner wrong. Whatever. Doesn't matter. We're rolling with it. So, let's hop into reason number 1. This is the biggest one. Is trading live without education first. So it's just the fact that people are trading without having the proper knowledge first, right? So then they think, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. This isn't for me. Well, you know what? You don't go into a gym. It doesn't make any sense. You don't walk into a gym, try to deadlift 400 pounds, and then say, oh, I can't do it. Maybe it's not for me. No, you need to start where beginners should start, which is trading, or in this metaphor, lifting light weights, learning, right? You're learning how to use different machines. You're learning, mind muscle connection. You're learning how to use your different muscles, how to perform different exercises, blah, blah, blah. The list goes on. You're learning about nutrition. You're learning about, do's and don'ts and whatever. Same thing with trading, right? You shouldn't hop in trading live money without knowing the basics, or probably at least more than the basics. So that's number one. People trade, have no idea what they're doing. They're like, oh well, I don't know, looks it's going up, I think it's going up, let's buy it then. And they're just sort of guessing, which everyone sort of starts there. But a lot of people get discouraged because they're losing money. They don't know why. They don't understand what's going on or what to do. How do you find a trade? Blah blah blah. So that's number one. Just get educated first. Understand it's probably going to take a few months. Like, just, you're not going to make $1 million in the first month. Probably not the first year. Probably not the first 5 years. It's a career, and you need to realize that it's a career. It's not a get rich quick thing that scammers like selling you. Or sometimes they don't even sell you that. They're just like, hey, dude, just take the trades I take. You don't even need to learn anything. It's like, what? Anyways, so that's number one. Number two is going to be over leveraging. So whether you get educated first or not, this is still usually a big problem with beginner traders. They over leverage. They're risking 5% of their account, 10% of their account, 50% of their account, 100% of their account on one single trade. And sometimes they don't realize it, right? They're uneducated. They either, pick the wrong lot size, or they think, they're supposed to win almost every trade. And if they don't, they lose their money, and they're like, I don't know what happened. I thought I was supposed to make money. So a lot of times it's not just an overconfidence thing. A lot of times it's just it's an uneducated thing, which is fine as long as you learn from it, right? So over leveraging is a big one. I think if newer traders risked only like 1% of their account at first, well, first of all, you shouldn't even be trading live until you know what you're doing. and then you can trade demo. What's the difference between trading $5,000 live and $5,000 demo? Well, yes, emotions are different, but you should be trading demo before you trade live as a general rule, right? And then when you trade live, trade a small account, and then once you get better, you can add money and grow from there. But if you want to make $1,000 in a day, you're going to need a good amount of money. You're not going to do that with $100, so you just need to get your perspective in check. However, if you want to flip $100 into $1,000, you can do that, but just understand it's gambling at that point. As long as you know you're gambling and you accept the risks, you accept, hey, I understand the odds probably aren't in my favor, but I'm okay with that. And if you're okay with that and you want to be a gambler, go for it. But then don't be upset when you lose all your money. Don't hate. Well, I guess in this case, don't hate the game, hate the player, right? Number three is sort of similar to number one, but not really. It's not having a defined strategy. Not having a definitive actual strategy. Right? So, for example, a lot of people, when they first start out, they'll see a chart and it goes like this. And they're like, oh, this thing looks like it's going down. Maybe this was, and I'll put my target all the way down here, my stop up here. I'm going to make a lot of money on this trade. And, they just trade based on looks. It looks like it's going down. And then all of a sudden it does this. And like, oh, let me scratch that trade and let me go long now. And then it does this. And like, oh, shoot, I just lost money both ways. You can't trade based on how a chart looks. It looks good. It's not a supermodel. Like, what do you mean it looks good? Like, you need to have a system. Like, oh, I'm gonna take this trade because of A, B, and C, and I know and I've tested this that the odds are in my favor to make money over the long run if I take trades that look like this. That's what profitable trading is, right? Doesn't mean you win 90% of the time. You can win 40% of the time and make money. So, don't think your strategy has to be some genius plan. It just needs to be profitable. So not having a defined strategy, not only how do you get into a trade, what conditions are you looking for, but also, how do I get out of a trade? For example, let's say you took a sell right here. Okay, that's great. You need to in your strategy, you need to define where's your stop loss going to be. Okay, well, I'm going to put my stop loss up here. Okay, where is your target going to be? How are you going to get out of the trade? A lot of people are just like, oh, well, when I get into profits, I'll get out. No, you need to have a defined list of rules. When it hits, a previous low, okay, or if it hits a Fibonacci number, or maybe once price action changes, or there's different ways to do this, but you need to have a system where you define every single thing to where you shouldn't really be guessing. I mean, part of trading, there might be some discretion, but for the most part, you should know what to do in different situations. And if you don't, then you need to do that before you start trading real money. All right, so number four. Number four is sort of similar to number three, but not really. And that is defining your trading personality. What do I mean by that? Well, new traders usually look up to people, on Instagram, because that's where a lot of education comes from. There's not college classes on trading Forex. There's no university. So really, you need to get your education through the internet, either through free YouTube videos or courses or paid training or whatever. That's how you learn, or you could always learn through books or podcasts or just experience. There's lots of ways to learn, but the biggest thing is new traders latch on to usually a person. They're like, this guy seems to make money. I'm going to follow his strategy, which is fine. But you need to make sure that that strategy fits your personality, because it might work for someone, But for you, it's not going to work because you can't hold on to your trades that long, or it's too short term and you just, the adrenaline's too much. You just can't handle that short term, choppiness of the market. So define what you work best in, what time frames you're good at mainly. It's the time frame. Um, because some people cannot handle trading the 15-minute chart. It's too fast. Other people cannot handle trading the daily chart. It's way too slow. It doesn't work with them. And so you really need to define, what's your personality, especially, what time frames do you work best in? Holding time. What are you comfortable with? Once you do that, then you can go on to, finding a strategy that fits. Then your personality. Okay, I do better swing trading. Maybe I do better holding long term. I have longer, time to make decisions and process what's going on. So then you want to find a person or a strategy or a system, whatever it is, that then will work for you and that will yield you the best results as you're starting out, right? So then now we're moving on to our final reason that beginner traders fail. So the fifth and final reason is going to be, dun, 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 the final reason is that new traders look up to either the wrong trader or only one. So what do I mean by this? Basically, like I said, in this industry, usually you're going to be looking up to people online traders for your information and education, right? That's how most people learn, is through somebody online nowadays, or a book or whatever. You look up to somebody, right? Who you want to trade like, who you want to gain knowledge from, who knows about the market. So either you're looking up to the wrong people. There's a lot of, obviously there's a lot of scammers, not just scammers, but there's a lot of people who, maybe don't know what they're doing. And, but they still want to give out information. They still want to help people, either for monetary gain or, they think they're helping. But a lot of people don't have the right knowledge, right? They don't have the right information. You could ask 20 traders one question and they'll probably all have different answers. And part of that is the reality of trading. Everybody has their own opinion and method, and that's okay. But there's some people I've heard that their advice is just completely wrong. What they're saying is just completely wrong and completely, getting beginners' heads in the wrong place. They'll say things like, "Oh, it's a matter of skill." You could risk 10% per trade. It's just a matter of skill. You're just not good enough. Like, no, that's just not true. You could be the best trader in the world. You might take 3 losses in a row sometime. You're down 30%. It's not a matter of skill. It's a matter of probability, right? Just stuff like that. Like I've heard some stupid stuff from traders. So a lot of times they're looking up to the wrong people. And as a beginner trader, it's extremely hard to know who is the right person to look up to and who's not. And I understand that, right? Because you don't know anything, right? You're like, well, this person says they know what they're talking about. You have no way to judge them because you yourself don't have much knowledge. So yeah, it's a little difficult, but so that's why I also include the next one. You're only listening to one person. You should be listening to a lot of different people, following a lot of people, getting information from a lot of places to get a very well-rounded, idea of the market. If you only listen to one person, your bias is going to be very skewed, and that's not good, right? And so the last 3 years, I've listened to tons of traders, hundreds of podcasts, read books. So, I have a pretty good sense of what's right and what's wrong in the market, and through personal experience, right? And if I only listened to one person, I would not be near as knowledgeable as I am today. It's because I was just a sponge. I listened to lots of people and took a little bit from each, right? So I think that's a big one, is either you're listening to people who are just giving out wrong information, or you're only listening to one person who might have limited knowledge, right? A lot of people I come across, they don't know anything about fundamental analysis. They only look at charts and they're only technical traders, which is fine, but at the same time, that is actually a big part of the markets. And I think a lot of people are trading blind by not knowing the context around what they're trading in the real world. Why is this currency moving like that? Why is this currency not moving very much? Getting a context will help you a lot. You can keep the same technical strategy, but just getting a context is good, or, whatever it is, right? So just listen to one person will give you a very skewed idea of the markets. Not a good idea. And that's all I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It helps the channel. And do comment down below as well. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
I come from a town where most of the people are so close-minded. They go into school and they work in a job, but they don't even like it. I won't be put in a box. Nobody telling me what I should rock. Nobody telling me what I should